Most people, most of the time, are polite, cooperative, and kind until they're not.
Now that I have my bride, we are going to defeat all of the enemies.
As long as I exist, I have free will.
But I am doing this of my own free will. My own free will.
I say no, they didn't have any free will.
Folks who have studied the Thule Society say that it was the inspiration for Yahtzee-ism. After all, a number of Yahtzee leaders were a part of this secret society. Founded in August of 1919 in Munich, even the evil dictator that we can't talk about was associated with the society as a visiting brother. As author Joanna Kavanagh points out in her book, The Ice Museum, this society was an early expression of the Yahtzee preference for that perfect look, that idea of natural purity with a belief in the racial superiority of a people. You know where I'm going with this. So the leader of this society and the main activist was a man called Rudolf von Bettendorf. So prior to establishing his society, having returned from his trip to Turkey, Rudolf joined another secret group called the German Orden, formed by a handful of prominent occultists in 1912 and folks that were violently opposed to the same people that the Yahtzees were. Its leader, Hermann Pohl, was obsessed by what he saw as a gradual diffusion of the perfect race, a slow watering down of the national, hierarchy lines caused by the introduction of non-perfect elements. Needing an emblem for his group, Rudolf adopted the symbol that we now considered Icky as the true representation of everything he held dear. Originally, this symbol was an ancient Indian symbol of good luck, and it was a traditional symbol of the Norse god of thunder. But in the early 20th century, it was taken up by a German neo-pagan movement. So it was kind of from that Rudolf stole the idea, because both groups promoted strong anti-Christian ideologies. But it wasn't until a Thule Society member by the name of Friedrich Krohn suggested to that evil German dictator that he adopt the same symbol as his new political party's emblem that this now famous insignia grew to be one of the most feared and hated of all 20th century symbols. By late 1918, the Thule Society had over 200 members, and by autumn of that same year, the leader claimed the number had swelled to over 1,500 in Bavaria alone. Terrifying to think about. Okay, I know you know this cult. Ever hear of Shen Yun? You've seen the posters. So technically Shen Yun is a show put on by the religious group, which is a cult called the Falun Gong. So this was founded by a man named Li Hongzhi, who registered the group with the Chinese government back in 1992. Because after the whole 1989 thing, the Chinese Communist Party established a registry of social organizations because of, political upheaval. Li has been open about his beliefs that evolution is fraudulent, that people of different races will be separated in heaven, and that homosexuality and promiscuity are unnatural. He said that aliens are attempting to control humans by making us more dependent on modern science. A San Francisco man named Samuel Luo has claimed that his mother and stepfather refused essential medical treatment because of the teachings saying that sickness is based in karma. He also claimed that they came to believe that it was God's plan to eliminate certain groups. So yeah, Shen Yun was kicked out of China. They have some really interesting sentiments, and they still put on shows around the world to this day. I just saw their posters like last week. Founded in 1832 by a community of students from Yale University, the Order of Skull and Bones is famous for being, part of a lot of conspiracy theories. The most popular perhaps being that the founders of the CIA were members of this group. Its members assure outsiders that it's just a college fraternity. Look, officially, they're like, look guys, we're just a college fraternity. We get 15 rich guys every year. They, go under initiation. It's just mumbo jumbo. But folks who know better are certain that the occult-based secret society worships the absolute power of the state and the New World Order. Where do they do this? In a place called the Tomb. This was constructed in 1856, and that's where the order still holds their mysterious occult rites to this day. Almost from the very beginning, there was a sense of mystique around Skull and Bones, as might be expected in a university community that suddenly has within its confines a secret society. As early as 1873, there was a New Haven newspaper that published an article that condemned the society as an obnoxious, awful evil with an increasing arrogance and self-fancied superiority. Infamous for hiding the deep dark secrets of sick practices that members take part in, some say weird intercourse-related acts are also a common sight at this place. As a part of an initiation ceremony, new members are asked to lie in the nude in coffins before telling others their deepest and darkest secrets. I don't want to hear the recordings of those. Established in 1954, the Bilderberg Group, or Club, is a secret society comprising of the world's elite. It's an annual private conference of 120 120 to 150 of the most influential people from the world of business, finance, academics, media, even a couple of presidents and prime ministers. It's believed that the main purpose of this private party is to create an aristocracy of purpose, mainly in the US and Europe. Due to the lack of accessibility and transparency of these meets, this group has been accused of a number of conspiracy theories. We're talking responsible for the Great Depression, a lot of extremist activities. The air of mystery that surrounds the group, when you combine it with their unwillingness to come clean about what they talk about, kind of puts them on a lot of lists of the most dangerous secret societies of the world, and that's why I talked about them today. Established in the 1960s, but not getting any public recognition until the 90s, the Order of the Nine Angles is a satanic cult group in the UK. They claim to be the true followers of Satanism, and came to the attention of people thanks to their neo-Yahtzee ideologies and activism. The members see it as a very individual pursuit of excellence by studying what Satan has to offer. Their writings believe in human, let's end your life, as a way to eliminate weakness, and claim that evil tribes are an important part of the strategy of the devil to carry out the mission to disrupt and ultimately conquer the common people. Yeah, that's not Satanism, but nice try. The Mithraic Mysteries, a secret society that rose during the 1st century AD throughout the Roman Empire, thanks largely to its popularity among Roman troops, was inspired by an Indian-Persian divinity known as Mithra or Mithras, who was believed to have been born from a rock. Portrayed as a savior-like god, Mithras was often shown taking the life of a sacrificial bull or sharing a banquet with the sun god, Sol. Not a lot is known about the inner workings of this exclusive cult, but it's understood that the focus was glorifying war, overcoming evil, and achieving salvation. If you were going to apply, let's just say you had to pass 7 complex levels of initiation, including performing the taking of animals' lives before you could be really considered a member. The Knights Templar, a religious military order during the Crusades, so like way back then. These guys lived like monks. They fought like medieval Green Berets. They were suited and booted in black or white robes bearing a red cross. Pointy, lace-up shoes were forbidden because it was pagan fashion. Their disciplinary code involved hundreds of rules, with disobedience punished by flogging or in order to eat meals on the floor with the dogs. While they were originally founded to protect Christian pilgrims to the Holy Land, they also operated a bank, and a lot of folks despised their wealth and influence. There was the French king, Philip. Yeah, he accused the knights of having secret, naughty homo induction ceremonies and worshipping statues. There's a lot of big groups, illegal groups that model themselves on the knights, mimicking their medieval approach to discipline and punishment. It's not a good thing. During the turbulent 18th century in China, the Tiandihui, or the Society of Heaven and the Earth, formed as a spiritual cult led by charismatic leaders in the Fujian province. They were forced underground by, the big dynasty, becoming a ferocious resistance movement against the rulers, and they resorted to armed robbery to maintain financial stability. They inspired other societies, including a, Masonic type organization known as Hongmen. Members included the founder of China's First Republic, Taiwan's founder. Some remained true to the ideals of patriotism, loyalty, and justice, but a lot of folks drifted into criminality. Very much Robin Hood, if you will. The Illuminati was founded by Professor Adam Weishaupt in Bavaria on May 1st of 1776. Adam was chafing at the power of the conservative Catholic Church and the Bavarian monarchy, and wanted to toss aside organized religion in favor of a new form of illumination through reason. Inspired by the spread of enlightenment across Europe, he also drew upon ideas expressed by the mysteries of the 7 sages of Memphis, the Kabbalah, and the Freemasons. He recruited heavily from Freemasons, infiltrating Masonic lodges in his quest to recruit some of the wealthiest and most influential men in Europe. This organization flourished before being stamped out by Karl Theodor of Bavaria, who issued a whole thing making membership in this punishable by in 1787. Granted, to this day, everybody thinks the Illuminati still exists. They think they're still controlling everything in the world. Alrighty folks, ever hear of Bohemian Grove? The secret organization that controls the world? Technically, it's a place where the rich and powerful go to misbehave. At least if we're asking the Washington Post. It's this campground. It's in California, and it's a very private gentleman's club for the exclusives. There's a lot of folks that are rumored to be part of this club. I can't name any names because we would get in a lot of trouble, but let's just say very big names. There's been a lot of interesting projects that have come out of the Bohemian Grove over the years, notably a Manhattan Project planning meeting. The reason we got the big atomic explosive device? Yeah, that was from there. And that's all for today, folks. I've been Alexa, your resident ookie spooky girly. See ya!